Second guy.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Okay.
The ethics class? to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, Rich, can we get a call to order?
Yes. Mr.
I'm sorry, I'd like to call the meeting, I'd like to call the November 21st, 2023 Milltown Ford Avenue Redevelopment Organization meeting to order. Can we get a roll call, please, Rich?
Mr. Farkas.
Here.
Mr. Legati.
Here.
Mr. Mangarella.
Here.
Mr. Mashi.
Here.
Mr. Olashinsky.
Here.
Mr. Piantenza.
Here.
Council President Zambrana.
Here.
7 present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. All right, can we get the meeting notice, Rich?
Yes. Let the meetings reflect that adequate notice of the holding of this regular meeting of the Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency was provided by the adoption of a resolution and the posting, filing, and forwarding of a copy of the same to the official borough newspaper, Home News Tribune Publishing Company, on January 6, 2023. Public participation in this meeting will be permitted during the public hearings and after the agenda of scheduled matters has been completed.
Thank you. All right, has everybody read the meeting minutes? Can we get a motion to accept the meeting minutes as typed?
Motion to approve the meeting minutes as typed.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Rich, bills and claims?
Yes, everybody should have a copy of the bills and claims. They total $35,230 for the month. We have a replenishment of $30,000 that the developer has given us. And the balance remaining in the account after we pay the bills will be $10,088.68.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to accept the bills and claims as read?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that brings us to chairman's report. I have a couple of questions, but I think they'll fall under new business, so I'll let them ride till then. So that'll take us to number 8, correspondence. Anything?
I don't have any correspondence.
Anybody on the board? Mr. Cahill?
No correspondence, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Next is the audience comments. Kathy, you have something to say? No. All right. Any? Come on up, sir.
Lee Weisenberger, 99 JFK Drive, Milltown. I'm just curious, it's related to Ford Ave, but with the EPA and the DEP, is that site done with them? I mean, has it got a green light that everything's okay?
I'm going to say I think not. I'll defer to the lawyer, but I don't think it really becomes we don't have any jurisdiction over it until we actually take ownership.
That is correct. So there is still a remediation that needs to be done. There are grant funds available to the agency to undertake that cleanup. There has been several rounds of study that were done to identify the areas and to develop the remediation plan, all of which have been approved by the DEP, but until the redevelopment agency takes title, the property doesn't get cleaned up,
Okay,
at least by the redevelopment agency.
Right, so when that happens then, it's possible then that the DEP or the EPA would retest at that point too?
What happens is under the way that the DEP, it's the DEP and not the EPA. So the DEP is the state agency. There is a licensed professional who's retained by in this case, it'll be the redeveloper the redeveloper finalizes the remediation plan, submits that plan to the DEP, and then takes the responsibility to oversee it and provide proof and a certification to the DEP that the premises have been remediated and cleaned up to the standards of the DEP, and spells all of that out. And then the DEP accepts that as final conclusion, and they give a document that's called a no further action letter.
Okay, but if more contamination comes about, who would pay for that?
It would be if it comes about before before the agency takes title, it'll be the responsibility of the property owner, current property owner.
Current property owner. Even, once again, through this process, if he was to be foreclosed on because of taxes or something, it becomes Milltown's property, part of it, in this process yet? Or some of it even? Because the pond is still a question mark here.
The way that the redevelopment agency would be protected is that in the condemnation process, the redevelopment agency would, with the developer's money, place that money on deposit in the courts. And that money cannot be withdrawn by any party until the premises are cleaned to the standard they need to be cleaned to. And if the cleanup costs whatever the cleanup costs are, the redevelopment agency is entitled to reduce the amount of the money to be paid to the property owner by the amount of the cleanup.
Okay. The only reason I bring that up, I brought it up at the council meeting, because East Brunswick, with Freed Industries over there, they took ownership of that in '89, foreclosure. And they went back and forth with DEP and stuff. And in 2021, they found more contamination. That's what they're taking out of there now, 8,000 cubic yards. Going to Edgeboro, and like I said, there's a fee involved with that. So I'm just curious how this ties in with what's going on here. But
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because what happened with Free, because that's the only one I know around here.
yeah, it's because they had a clean bill of health in 2021. And for some reason, they retested. Why? Who knows? If you could find that answer out. But like I said, now they're trucking all that out of there. So, like I said, appreciate it.
It's not uncommon in development projects that when you're digging the land up, you find things.
Right?
Yeah. Doesn't always happen, but it's not unusual.
Okay, appreciate it.
Anybody else? All right, we're gonna go on to members' comments. Anybody have any comments? We're gonna go on old business. Mr. Cahill?
Old business, the only thing I have to report on the old business is that the settlement conference, which was scheduled for the latter part of October, did not take place due to some trial scheduling on both the part of the judge who was going to conduct it, as well as the attorney for Mr. Berger, which was legit. So the settlement conference is now scheduled for December 14th at 9 o'clock, and the pretrial conference is now scheduled for January 16, 2024 at 2 p.m.
You said January 16th?
16, yes, 1-6.
And December 14th, right?
Right.
14th, yeah, I got that.
First date was December 14th.
The first one is 12/14, yes.
Did they have any more postponements left, or was that a legit postponement?
If I had a crystal ball that would explain that, I'd be a very rich man. You know, the court seems to be impressed with the concept of speeding this along, but there are some times that scheduling things happen. A trial goes a little bit further, or one of the attorneys who are going to litigate the case gets called into a trial on another matter. And as a general rule, if you're starting a trial or in the middle of a trial, that takes precedence over a settlement conference.
Okay. That will move us on to new business now. We've got to get to the budget and the audit and approve those. But I just was wondering, and I didn't know if I should have done that under original comments or not. Do we have any candidates yet for Mr. Rydstrom's position?
Mr. Chairman, what I was going to suggest is that under the Open Public Meetings law, you have the right to discuss personnel matters in closed session. And my recommendation, and you have a resolution that was placed before you to authorize to go into closed session. And of
Okay.
course, we always discuss what we talked about, generally at the end of that. But the simple answer to your question at this point in time is no. But I would suggest anything else as to what the actions are and what we need to do and what we're looking for and suggestions, that would be best done in closed session.
So let's do the acceptance of the audit, the budget, then we'll ask the audience to leave. We'll discuss it. If you guys want to hang around when we're done with discussing it, we'll wave you back in and we'll, let you know, a little recap of what we discussed. So everybody has in front of them, I had a little crazy week at work, so I'm a little behind, but we have the acceptance of the 2022 audit, which everybody has in front of them. I did not get a chance to read through the whole audit. Did anybody read the whole thing and have any questions? I know Pete probably read it all for us.
Twice.
Did you find anything in there?
There is one correction. Randy had pointed out, I saw something else which I thought it was a mistake, was not a mistake. And Randy pointed out that when it lists the members of the agency who reviewed the audit, it lists Randy as the council person and Phil as a member, and that should be reversed. So when you vote on it to approve it, assuming you do, please, you'll note that change will be made tomorrow and we'll have a corrected version.
Anybody else notice anything needs to be corrected, check, change? All right. So can I get a motion to vote on the 2022 audit with the correction that Mr. Piatanza as the councilman? No, Mr. Piatanza.
Yes, that Mr. Zambrana is the councilman.
Mr. Zambrana, I said Piatanza, my bad.
And that.
Mr.
Mr.
Zambrana
Farkas
as the
is a member.
councilman and Randy as a member.
Right.
Can I get a motion?
Move that the 2022 audit be accepted.
Second?
Second.
Let's do a roll call, Rich.
Mr. Farkas,
Aye.
Mr. LaGuardia,
Aye.
Mr. Mangarella,
Aye.
Mr. Mashi,
Aye.
Mr. Olashinsky,
Aye.
Mr. Piatenza,
Aye.
Councilman Zambrana.
Aye.
7 ayes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to the introduction of the 2024 budget.
Mr. Chairman, I do have in front of me a document that is an affidavit that you have all read the audit that each member has to sign. You've done this in the past. And Mr. Cahill will attest it, and then it goes in with the audit report. So I'm going to give it to Mr. Mashi, and if you would just pass it along, sign it.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Did anybody have any questions on our 2024 budget? Did anybody see anything wrong in our 2024 budget? I have a question, just looking at it quickly. And like I said, I had a bad week at work, so I'm a little behind. Will we have to change, because right on the front page it's got Rich as the executive director, and that won't be true in 2024.
But it is at least the budget prepared as of now, and because you're considering it now, it reflects that it's been reviewed by the current executive director, and he is certifying that the information that's in there that was presented in the budget is an accurate account of where we are and where we project to be.
Thank you.
The hearing on the budget will take place at the December meeting, at which time we'll have the public hearing, and then we vote on the budget after the hearing. Tonight, this is just an introduction to get it before the public, so it does not require any action on your part except to vote on the introduction.
Yeah, so a motion to introduce the budget, and a roll call, and a second, of course, and a roll call vote to introduce the budget, and the public hearing will then be scheduled for the December meeting.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
Move that the 2024 budget be introduced.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Can I get a roll call, please, Rich?
Yes. Mr. Farkas.
Aye.
Mr. Legati.
Aye.
Mr. Mangarella.
Aye.
Mr. Mashi.
Aye.
Mr. Olashinsky.
Aye.
Mr. Piantenza.
Aye.
Councilman Zambrano.
Aye.
7 ayes, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you very much. So basically, that covers everything we have to do, except for the adjournment and our little closed session to discuss candidates in Mr. Rystrom's position. So, in lack of a better term, everybody could step out for a couple minutes.
You should adopt a resolution to go into closed session.
Oh, we got to adopt a
And
resolution.
if you give me 2 minutes, I'll read it. And,
Sure.
Whereas the Milltown Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency has a need to discuss matters involving the selection of an executive director, and whereas the Open Public Meeting Acts provide that a public body may exclude the public from portions of a meeting and discuss certain matters in closed session, including any matter involving the employment, appointment, terms and conditions of employment, including matters falling within attorney-client privilege, then therefore be it resolved by the Milltown Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency that the agency enter closed session to discuss the above-mentioned matters. Be it further resolved that the discussion held in closed session will be disclosed to the public upon return to open session. So a motion,
Make a motion that we go into closed session?
Second?
you can do all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Generally, state that this is going to adjourn right afterwards, is that it?
Yes, so once we're gonna, if anybody wants to come back in and hear a recap of what we discussed, Mr. Cahill will give a recap, and then after that, we're adjourning.
So I'm not going to.
Yeah, so,
We're going to stop it here.
you got it, bro.